Hello and welcome to SHENBREW. I'm George Frankly. You're looking at blast processing, but I decided to try something a little more slow-paced. Well, if you can't already tell, I'm playing Sonic Spinball today. Oh, this menu was a mistake. Let me just back that out. So the idea of SHENBREW is, I'm kind of sick of shouting and yelling and playing weird stuff, and I want to play something a bit more laid back. Sonic Spinball isn't necessarily very laid back to a lot of people, but it's an old favorite of mine, and I decided maybe I could make it entertaining for people. I was inspired to do this whole SHENBREW thing by my friend Danny over at Cartridge Gamer. He was getting so burnt out on the angry video game type nonsense, no disrespect to James Rolfe, of course, that he did a series of Joy of Gaming videos, where he would just try to play things and actually enjoy it. And I decided, let's set aside Xenobeers, and let's play SHENBREW. Let's have some good brews and some good news. I mean, take that as you will, but I'm still coming back to the Sega Genesis. It's a favorite, but I decided let's take a look at Sonic Spinball. It's a game that I don't see represented much, probably for good reason. This is a weird game. You can already tell. Oh, there we go. I'm gonna have to focus in a second to actually get moving, but Sonic Spinball was an oddity of a game released in 1993. It was made by the Sega Technical Institute, the American group of developers who had teamed up with Sonic Team to make Sonic 2 in '92. And since Sonic 3 was on track for Christmas, well, spring of '94, they needed something in time for Christmas '93. And an entirely Western studio, based in California or Washington, I believe, made this game entirely in, I think, 8 or 9 months. And it's unique for many reasons. They couldn't use official Sonic assets because Sega of Japan had those on lock. No familiar music, no recycled sprite artwork. But they had assets, or at least rights, to the American Sonic cartoon. You'll see some of those characters around. And they had seen a lot of positive response to the casino night levels in Sonic 2, so they decided to just make a whole game out of it. It's a very strange choice. And with only 4 levels, it's not a long game, and yet so few people have beaten it. I didn't beat this until my teenage years, and I owned it all my life. The game is viciously hard for how complicated it is. I haven't even started to explain what is going on here. So, let's take a look here. It's pinball, right? You can do a flip or catch here. Hold, take away, aim. It's giving you hints at the top of the screen, which is a very good system, because otherwise the game would be impossible to parse. It's just a confusing mess. But it's Sonic, so you have a bit of left and right control. Not much, but enough to make this game a little different. And for the longest time, I always thought this game operated on some sort of asshole physics system, that it would know exactly what you wanted and keep you from getting it. I still wonder. And just thank God I've got a high-speed enough, low-latency connection here that I can play this without a whole lot of button lag. Oh, that's enough trivia. Let's take a moment. First off, what's my brew today? I'm actually drinking a little bit of hot yerba mate from, honestly, a no-name bulk package from World Market. Oh, that's not bad. Just a little bit of sugar there. I love yerba mate. It's a dumb story of why I do, though. Mate tea. This is the dumbest story. This is embarrassing, so I'm going to tell it. Mate tea was introduced as a power-up in Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker. And when I found out, because I'm not much of a tea drinker, and I found it was a fruit tea, I thought, oh, I might like that. And come to find out, God, do I. And as a caffeine-dependent person that I am, it is nice to have. Alright. So let's talk about Sonic Spinball here, and why do I like it and people hate it? They're not wrong to hate it. It's not a good game. But I love it. So, there we go. Sonic Spinball does not convey much very well. And it's a puzzle game, not a Sonic game, not a pinball game. Like, for example, right now that I'm up to this second level of the board here, I'm supposed to hop into this little thingy here. I'm supposed to steer it over and go pick up a Chaos Emerald. I'm not going to. because actually that triggers things that make the game more difficult. Oh god, look at me, I got momentum and I can't stop. Look at him go. Look at that cute little sprite there. Alright, what I actually need to do is hop the track that I just did to get that emerald and get another one. So, let's see here. Can't go up to the boss yet, only got one emerald, need 2 more. I'm going to take the path I took, grab a few bonus points, I'm not going for the high score here. I'm going to go through the open bridge I already did, instead of doing both sides, but I'm going to do this side, get the emerald I didn't already get. I'm cutting a lot of the level out. You have so many levers and switches in this game. Finding every emerald... every emerald. I'm going to move this mic closer for a moment here. Finding every emerald is a needlessly convoluted puzzle. And there are 3 in some levels, 5 in others. This game does not convey what it wants from you, and the music borders from funky to painfully grating. Right now I think it's more on the funky side, but if you caught a little bit of that options menu music earlier, that was a chainsaw in your ear canal, and I'm sorry that happened to you. So this is the last emerald of the round here. You're supposed to get this first, but I saved it for last. Makes the trip a little faster. I solved this game through brute force in the way that we kids did back in the day. When you didn't have an internet connection. Actually, I did, but there wasn't much of a game presence back in, 94 through 98. But when you only had a few games, you brute forced it. Let's land carefully. Let's get that left pipe. Nope, not quite. One more try. That was way too high. Gotta take it mellow. I love the ridiculous neon artwork from every angle here. I'm not enough of a music or... Oh, no. Okay, I was almost... You can barely see at the bottom of the screen there, that little bobbing barrel I rode is now moving left and right, so I no longer can count on it to save me. That's why I saved this for last. So I need to get up to the top there without plummeting into the toxic waste or whatever. But yeah, when you're young, you only have a few games, you brute force them. You play them over and over until you solve your way out. And I'm coming at this a little bit cold. I haven't played this in a couple of years, but I've had a few... I don't know if it's a point of pride or not. I've had points where I was probably one of the better people around at Sonic Spinball. I cannot find a competitive high score circuit for Sonic Spinball, but I at least have a score that I snapped an old-fashioned photograph of 15 or so years ago that might very well be the high score in existence. It was a nearly perfect game. I was playing it on the GameCube Sonic Mega Collection on a GameCube kiosk at work at GameStop. I want to say in 2005 or 6. My boss was very impressed and then told me to stop playing goddamn Sonic games on the clock. He was right on both cases. He should be impressed. This boss is absolutely bizarre looking, and I love it. I need to get inside that tail and stop wasting time, but I love hitting those switches on top. You get kind of a funny effect. What is it doing? Why can't I get in there? Okay, let's bonk it. Drop some rocks on it. That is a useless maneuver, but it just seems like such a big deal. Alright. The first time you hear that screaming noise is something truly special when you're a kid. This game had... I forgot there was no safety yet. Oh, great, I have to go work my way back up there. This game has a lot of personality that the mainline Sonic games did not have at the time. You know, the weird noises and expressions that Robotnik robot was making, you wouldn't see them anywhere else. Sonic was still a new property back then, and they really, I think, weren't quite identifying... They hadn't quite codified a lot of the personality and tropes of the franchise. Because frankly, Sonic 1 had come out in, 90, 91? Sonic 2 had come out a year before this. They were kind of flying by the seat of their pants, and this was the first fully Western-developed Sonic. I think the next would be, Sonic 3D Blast? Not a great trip for everybody. Let's give this another go. Thing's nearly dead anyways. Tail will pop off, and then I'll... Oh, whoa. Okay, that's not... I'm trying to get up that center. There we go. Oh, tail's gone. Alright. Let's get a few more bonks. Hard to stay in without the tail. Oh, so many of the mechanics in this game are absolutely opaque. Oh, there we go. Absolutely opaque, that you'll go your lifetime without finding out about them. I have watched GDQ speedruns of this game that themselves say, there's no system to this known, you just hit switches until the game is done. Oh, I just lost signal. Hi, we've jumped ahead a little bit. Sorry, I had a bit of a feed problem. I'm not sure what exactly came up, but I lost all visibility, so you guys have ended up missing the bonus stage. Very sorry about that. It was a fun thing. I'll go back to that at another time. But we've jumped into the second stage. We're at the very beginning, mercifully. I haven't lost any lives in the ensuing blackout. Let's get back to what we were doing. And this track is it's either great or terrible. I'm not sure. Ah, okay. Everything's working normally again. I don't have any safeties below, so I can no longer fall down and dodge a dragon or anything. This is where the opacity of the game really starts to shine through. Figuring out what you need to do here is a bit of a mess. That strange little cannon with the I think it's supposed to be a robotic face up there on the left. I got in the habit of calling it a Frog-Walnut as a kid, and to be honest, it's a good name. That is a Frog-Walnut. Oh, okay, that's close. So, you need to open up that gate before you can do anything. Getting in there is a absolute pain, but the cannon or the warp will get me up there, so let's take the cannon. Oh, and I just sabotaged myself. Okay. Did I close the gate too? So, this game can undermine a lot of successful work very quickly. And right now I have closed that gate, which now takes 3 hits. There's 1. It drops these nondescript enemies that do nothing but slow you down over and over again. It is artificial padding, I admit. But I love the colors, the art, the music is bizarre and memorable. Is that open? Yes. Now let's, no. Alright, anyhow. This, yes, no? No. Oh good, cool loop. Gotta stay out of those, traps there. Oh. Great. I have to close this, alright. Let's hope for the best and hope I don't fall back down there again. Oh, this is where the game's strange physics... As I said, it had no assets from classic Sonic. It's entirely a thing of its own. It feels off. Come on. You have to land on the down... There you go. This level still has 3 emeralds. It teases you with them right away. They all seem so much closer than they actually are. Alright. This is one of the rare points in the game where you actually benefit from doing a spin dash. There's not a whole lot of parallax or transparency effects in this particular game. So you're not missing any of those checkerboard patterns that don't show through. I'll do a piece on that at some point. What am I... My start button broke? Well, the game's working. Oh, let's not bounce through there. Oh, bloody hell. Huh. Well, I'm using the, I tried to pause for a second, and I could not. I'm using the 8-bit do Bluetooth M8. Well, that's mellow. Bit of dog barking in the background. And my start button has just stopped working. So I've fallen down to a lower level and have to repeat what I did before. It's obnoxious, but I'm getting some practice. For reasons I don't understand, I cannot pause the game. Oh, wonderful. Doesn't make me do that all over again. So, this damn game. Getting back to where I was is enough of a pain. Like I said, it'll set your progress back so quickly. But the meat and potatoes of this stage, once you get to this level, is to do another shot into one of those Frog-Walnut cannons. This time, to set off those plugs. Where is that? Oh, one. I have seen the speedrunners of the world. Oh, that was a good save. somehow bounce over and over in a single go and do that nearly instantly. I wish I had their skills. Oh, that frightened me for a moment. The cartoon stylings at work here, those little sound effect bits, the info screen on the top. Ah, so close. Where is this taking me? Oh, beautiful. Alright. You have to know to hammer the button here and ride these little air things up, otherwise you will just fall through. You have to have such rote memorization to make sense of this game. And it's unfair, but it's so satisfying too. So, that's 2 out of 3. Need to do the exact same thing on the left side. And I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, because both sides are entirely symmetrical in this level, and in the first level. And you have a lot less variety, but at the same time it means once you learn a system, you benefit from knowing how to do it better the second time. This is kind of a load-bearing level. A lot of people get this far, and then never get through this level, because it's just, oh, whoa, what? I'm not upset, I'm just disappointed. Didn't really, register my inputs there. Still, oh! Start button's finally working. Oh, come on. That's a shame. But yeah, I think it drops inputs a little bit. It's a very... I don't know the word for it. It's not a suggestion kind of game. But there are times when it might feel like you're not getting everything, all of your button presses back out of it. I think a lot of that comes from the fact that just as people who have a Sega Genesis and are used to Sonic games, you know what a Sonic game feels like. And this has a lot of the trappings, but none of the feel. Alright. Let's not mess this up. Hit it too many times and you'll fall right through that chute and forget to get the emerald. How are we... Oh, how are we doing? We're on good pace, actually. So, drops us back down, but to a convenient recovery spot. And I didn't bother with these earlier, but these 2 hatches now will take us up to another really, really goddamn strange boss. And it's these bosses, and bits of this music, these colors, but it's these bosses that really make this game so memorable in good and bad ways. Like, that little glimpse you got there, what the hell was that? This is repugnant. It's unpleasant looking. Nope. Oh, that's a dropped input. I did not jump in time, and I bumped my own entrance shut. Oh. This is another case of you just need to drop the ball in and let it bounce around. And... oh. It just sabotaged me. Well, I've accidentally turned on the safeties. But I really need to get up top, and the momentum is against me. That was mean. That was absolutely mean. No. There we go. That's the Sonic element for you. Okay. And this is where... oh. Gotta wait for those steam to go off. Moments like getting inside this thing and... being inside this thing and being inside the tail part of the scorpion are really satisfying for the whole bouncing every which way kind of element, you know? Once you can get a good angle and just ricochet everywhere, that's a good classic pinball feeling. It's a very fun feeling for a Sonic game. It's very tactile. Okay, that's... you'll notice I'm just in the room below. That's what those safety plugs did for me. I'm not trying to turn this into a how-to, but I've picked up too much of this game over the past 30 years. I might as well share a few things. So, for the love of God, don't kill the one in the middle first, because that's the one helping you stay inside the container. Let's hit that little switch if I can, get the safeties on. Oh God, nope, what? Okay. Okay. There you go. Getting that one on the right will make the last few a little easier. No. Okay. I'm glad the safety was still on for that then, because otherwise I would have fallen to the very, very bottom of the level and had to play a mini game I still don't fully understand to not die. Quickly, quickly, quickly. Well, that was cutting it close. Oh, that's what I hoped not to do. Now there's nothing blocking the little exit there. In theory, I could shoot straight up the middle, but the odds of doing that are narrow. Okay. Okay. Let's try it. There's a bit of tension there. This is not the most mellow sound. I told myself SHENBREW would be a mellow thing. Alright. Gotta bounce. Bounce. Hit him. There we go. Like I said, there's a lot of good, satisfying design there. The chain explosions there. I'm playing on original hardware, so you're getting the correct sounds and everything. The count-up score. This is one of the few Sonic games that makes you care about score. I'm not saying you should care about score, but it makes it satisfying. We missed that first bonus stage, but we can still see the second. Oh, these are weirdly harder than the main game in their own way. Because you're playing real pinball, so you can't steer left and right in the Sonic way. So you get the unfair, just bad turns that real pinball can give you. The unwinnable situations. That was one of them. There's a way to tilt the table, but it requires holding the entire controller in a claw grip, and I'm never doing that at the time. Know what I mean? Oh, come on! Alright, let's try it. There you go! Tilt. That tilted the wrong way for me, but you have to press all the face buttons at once. And then a direction, and you can tilt it, but it's not a natural way to hold a controller in a Sonic game. So I'm supposed to bust the teeth. Come on. Come on. Really? Alright. There's a lot of little details here I didn't notice until I was older. First off, just the amount of animation on these flippers and paddles. It has a very nice three-dimensional look to it. The fact that you can see a little silhouette of Sonic playing in the background, and his eyes follow the ball. His hands are actually operating the flippers. No. You can actually do left and right flippers, but I'm not the type. Oh. That's a very mean noise. I didn't need that. Alright. This is a little bit further than most people ever get to see. This is the machine. This is a much bigger, but much more interesting level. And I'm going to get to this next time on SHENBREW. So I will see you all in the next level. Have a good one.